Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Rachel or Lemonade Stitching, and thank you for coming. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I have two things I want to say before I get into the video today. The first is I'm on the same squeaky chair that I've been on in my last couple of videos, so I apologize for that. And the second is that I'm in a different room. We still have a full house left over from Christmas. Today is Tuesday, 27th, and so we still have some family in town. If you didn't watch my last floss tube, I am from Rochester, New York, and so we got hit with a nice big winter storm, so family that was supposed to go home last Friday and Saturday got stuck here for Christmas, and so after a lot of flight delays, they are still here. I'm happy that they're still here, but it's been a little chaotic, so I am in a different room today. I'm hoping that the lighting is okay with the funky colored walls. But yeah, so that's the different location that I'm in. But without further ado, I want to get into today's video, which is my stash walkthrough, stash reveal. I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but I've talked about it in my last couple of floss tube videos and everyone seems super excited. I have a lot of stash items from my grandma that she passed down years ago. She was like, I'm not gonna use these anymore, so take them. So I have them now, and I'm gonna kind of like walk you guys through them, show you what I've got, and I'm hoping this will help me pick out some more projects to get started on next year. Just because I have so many, I'm like, I gotta work through these before I can buy a ton of new ones, which the more floss tube I watch, the more I want to buy. So I have all of it on the ground here. I keep looking at it because it's so much, and I have it broken up into kits, patterns, fabric, and floss, and so I'm just gonna kind of go through each section. Okay, so starting with kits, first I have these printed fabrics. I'm not sure if you can see, but I do have the pattern in my pattern book, which I will show you. This is a flower bouquet. This one, which actually has a couple of stitches on it, is a teddy bear. And then this one, which you can't read because it's so light, but it says, "Be present at our table, Lord, be here everywhere and adored." And there's actually one more in this set, but I made it as a wedding gift years ago for a neighbor. And I got these from my church. I think someone donated like a box of stuff, and so I got these. You know, somebody didn't want them anymore and I took them home, so I don't have a use for those. Most of the stuff I don't have a use for, it's just been collected. Then the next kit is an expressions kit snowmobile, and it's two little snowmen in a little sled, super cute. And this one I actually have started, so once I finish up a project or get bored of something, I'll pull this out to work on, but I figured it's not on the list to do right now. Then I have a Bucilla kit. This one's called Mine. And it's just a little boy and a puppy, super cute. And it's not started, so it's got everything inside. Looks like this was 50 cents. I wish I could get stuff for 50 cents nowadays. My next kit is a cross-stitch kit for my sorority crest, Zeta Tau Alpha. And this is the same kit that I used for my boyfriend's fraternity crest that I made him for Christmas. So she's got fabric and floss in it, and these were from a company called Greek Gear, and I showed the one that I made for him in my very first floss tube video, so if you're interested in seeing that, you can go check that out. But I also bought one for myself at the same time, but that one has not been started. My next one is another expressions kit, a Very Merry Christmas. So Santa Claus and some bears, and this one is actually printed on the fabric. So, alright, next we have a country hanging cross stitch kit. I don't know that this one has a name, but it's like a little wall hanging thing, and it comes with the frame and lace to finish it. A lot of these are not at all my style, so keep that in mind as I'm showing you this stuff. So some of them I don't think I'll ever get around to doing. Like this isn't something I necessarily am going to hang in my home, but I still have it, so I wanted to show you guys. And then this one the picture is actually in a pattern book, but I have started it, and I will point it out when I get to the pattern in a second. But it's, I think, a little girl holding flowers. But like I said, it's not a current whip that I'm working on, so the pattern isn't in this bag for some reason. Alright, so those are all of the kits, and next I want to go into the patterns. After I told you guys that I was going to film this stash video, I remembered that a lot of these are like old books, so they don't necessarily have photos of the patterns. I'm gonna try and like hold them back so I can still flip through everything and show you guys, and you can see like the general outline of patterns without trying to, you know, put the camera right up on the chart and give you all that information away, because obviously I don't want to go against any copyright or anything, but I just want to kind of show you guys what I have. So that is the intention of this. So I'm gonna do my best to not, you know, put it up too close to the camera and show you like the patterns in detail. But little backstory, when I got all of these patterns from my grandma, and there's a huge stack, when I got all of these from her, it was just like a stack of loose papers, and I actually one summer went through all of them, organized them, put them in order, because they're from a bunch of different like magazines and books and stuff, so I put them in order as best I could into this huge binder, and I tabbed all of the different books and put them in sheet protectors and just tried to organize them and have them in one central place and protect them so they don't get ripped or damaged, and you know, down the line when someone's ready to stitch them, the pattern is still readable. So when doing that, the first thing I found were some like basics, so I put them in this like report folder, and so in here it has just like general instructions for cross stitch. This I can show you, which I'm sure came out of, you know, some sort of kit a long time ago, but it talks about just like, again, like the basics, finishing instructions, how to do a back stitch and stuff like that. And then actually I also found a bunch of like a monogram, and so these are all monograms, and a bunch of other fonts, if I can, you know, get to them. But so I put all of these like basic fonts and basic cross stitch stuff in this one folder as like a little reference folder, and that's the last one. So this is like my cross stitch basics, so if I ever, you know, want an idea for an alphabet, or this page has borders on it, I'm not sure if you, I hope you can see it a little bit. It has some different borders on there that you can do, so that's all in this little folder. Then we get into the big binder, and like I said, this is separated by like magazine that it came out of. I have added a little bit to it over the years, so in the front I have, that's actually just loose labels, it's nothing. In the front I actually have a crochet Afghan pattern that I got from, oh my gosh, it doesn't have their, oh, Elizabeth Ham made this, but I'm not sure, I don't remember the YouTube channel that this is from, but it was like a free tutorial that I followed along, and this was how I actually learned to crochet. So I just threw that in the front here because it's my, you know, general pattern book. Then I have a picture of a deer that I printed off Pinterest and made my own little pattern off of it for a friend in high school. And then this is a picture of the chapel at a camp that I went to when I was in high school, and so I used a free website, Picture to Pattern, and I uploaded this picture, and it created a pattern for me based off of it and gave me a color list. Oops. It gave me a color list, and so I used this to make a little cross stitch piece of the chapel, and I'll put a picture of it in the screen, but I actually only did the chart for the chapel itself, and then I just kind of freehanded some grass and sky around it, but nothing too formal or intense, because I really just wanted the chapel on there. Next I have some patterns from Etsy, and this is where we kind of get into, there's no cover photo, so I'm going to hold them back here. So this is cactuses that I've got, and then this actually goes with the succulent that I showed in my first floss tube. These are the other, it was a set of 4, so there was this cactus along with it, this one, which is similar to the first one, but it has, I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold this so they don't all come swinging around, but I think that's gonna be difficult. This one's got pink tips, and then this one is even more pink, and then I guess the original cactus isn't in here, so I'll have to reprint that and make sure it gets added to this binder. Then we start my grandma's pattern. So all the first stuff was just like stuff that I've collected and stuff that I've added, and then this second half, or majority of the folder, is stuff from my grandma. So I think I'm just gonna kind of hold this up and flip through. Maybe I'll angle the camera down a little more. Let me do that. Alright, so I'm just gonna do my best to kind of flip through these, and hopefully you guys can get the general shapes of what they are. This one is a little duckling, and I actually have him finished. I found him in my stash the other day when I was going through it. I have no idea when I stitched this, but he's so cute. And so this first little booklet is a lot of basic stuff. This is like a teacher chart. A mother holds her children's hands for a while, their hearts forever. This is like a little boy and a dog. It's hard to like see them upside down, but again, I don't want to get too close because it is just the patterns themselves. And I'll point out a couple other patterns that I have stitched in here, but most of these have never been done. And I know the glare is terrible, so I hope this footage isn't a total waste. It's just page after page. These are baby Cupies. So this green tab means we got to a new book. So this section of patterns is all baby Cupie. Doing all sorts of things. Here's a little dog, a cat. They're reading Puss in Boots. And I guess that's all Cupie. And then we have the Country Diary collection, which is some wildlife. There's birds on the front. So this one is really pretty, and there's a lot of stuff from here that I want to do. Like this is some birds in a nest, which is really beautiful. And then this has a lot of pretty simple flowers that I really like. Again, birds, another bird's nest, 3 birds there at the top. Some more flowers. This is dog roses. It has backstitch here on the side. Cotton red poppies. I don't think you can see the physical chart. I think it's too far away, so I hope that's okay. And just a number more different patterns and birds. I think this like section of patterns is gonna be my focus probably when I am not traveling so much and have time to do some more projects. Because I think they'll all come out really beautiful. And it's also kind of a surprise every pattern, because since they're all in black and white or just like pen and ink, you don't actually know what color they're going to turn out as. So it's kind of like take it your own risk. And then they've got some backstitching references and finishing instructions back here for, looks like placemats. Oh my gosh, are these supposed to be placemats? Oh, that's so cute. I didn't even know that. Okay, well, apparently you can make placemats and napkins out of these. So super cute. Might have to do that. I'm not 100% sure. But that brings us to our next section, which is Rocky Mountain Wildflowers. So another section that I really enjoy and would like to stitch. So wood violet. I cannot read upside down. Larkspur. Oh, it literally says right there. Scarlet Gilia. I'm not even going to try to read all of these because I'm just going to butcher them. I'm still embarrassed from my last floss tube because I told you guys I didn't know what my fabric color was, and it turned out to just be ivory in cursive, and I was so embarrassed that I didn't know that. I must have just had a little brain fart that day, but I promise I do know how to read and write cursive. So thank you to everyone in their comments last week who told me that my Ada was ivory colored and not ori colored, because that did not make sense at all. So all of these flowers here that I just showed you guys are definitely on my to stitch list. And then this section down at the bottom, it says Bet Ashley Designs, copyright 1981. So nice, a little old, but these are a lot of like rainbow patterns, or at least color wise from what I can gather, they're rainbows. So we have Because of You. On this side of the page we have like a cat on a heart, a rainbow butterfly, and down here you can't see, but there are balloons. And this butterfly is actually one of the first things I ever stitched. It's between this and one other chart that's in here. I don't remember which one was actually first, but this is one of the first things I stitched. Unfortunately, I don't have that anymore, but I did it. This side is lace heart with a rose. Goodness. And all of these charts include DMC. This is like a unicorn here. A little rainbow with some clouds. I think this is a wreath, and you can add something in the middle if you want. Yep, and here's an alphabet to use for reference. These ones are really hard to see just because they're kind of printed light. And then we come into seascapes, so this is a lot of shells and seagulls. Birds, ducks. There should be lighthouses over on this page. Boats or ships. And then forest friends. So we have, this is a mouse, a chipmunk, squirrel, small chipmunks on this other side. And then again, like some instructions that the booklet included. This is along the countryside, so I don't remember what's in this one. Looks like these are some flowers in a vase or a pot. You can see that. Again, flowers in some sort of pot. And again, I don't know like what these look like. I've never stitched up the colors, so I don't know if they go together or what, but lots of good stuff to do. Some different barns and what is this? A silo maybe? Grain bins on this side. Some wheat and eucalyptus, and these are nice too because they're just small, so you could probably turn them into ornaments or a garland or anything like that. And then this is Christmas at Stony Creek, this next section. So we've got a horse pulling a sleigh, or maybe it's a reindeer, but without color it definitely looks like a horse. But technically it could be a reindeer because it is Christmas. Little season's greetings. The North Pole. This one is a bridge, I'm assuming a snow-covered bridge, but again, no color, so I don't know for sure. Then we've got like a little marching band. This one's called Forever Friends. I think it's a bear and a snowman. Yeah, a bear and a snowman. So, what else? Baby's First Christmas. And this one's called Tender Love. It looks like Mary and Jesus. I'm not sure. I think this is a little kid. Bless this is Bless His Birth. Bless His Birth. So this looks like a little nativity, I think. This one says Silent Night, so I'm assuming a gingerbread or a gingerbread house or a church of some sort. And a little Happy Holidays. The glare is so bad. Alright, the last couple of sections. We have Copper Country. So just some more charts. Some of them I don't even know what they are. Because again, like, I haven't stitched pretty much any of these. This one's like a tea kettle. It's cute. Don't want to hold it too close. Some chickens, some angels. So this is a can of sardines. On this page we have some dragonflies, which are probably really pretty. This might be a cute like bookmark. I think these go on top of each other. So this one goes on top of this one. So maybe a cute bookmark or something. And then we've got a number of different borders on this page. I don't even know. There's so much in here. A little bear with some balloons. And then this is called Cross Stitcher's Best Friend. So I think this one is all teddy bears. Or this one actually might be like make your own bear. Or no, yeah, it's got teddy bear charts in there. And again, instructions for whatever kit or book this came out of. But I'm missing pages all over the place probably, so don't know that those instructions are still useful, but I have them. And then the last one is with pen and ink. So these ones are a little simpler and a lot more backstitching. Boats. I think they're all boats or houses. Lighthouse. I don't think this one has like 10 total stitches in it, so pretty simple. And a little seagull. So let me put my camera back up. Okay, I hope that's an okay angle for you guys. That was a lot. My arm is honestly tired from holding that up, but I do have a few more, and if there's anything in there that you'd like to see a little closer, feel free to let me know. I honestly like trying to look at the book and the camera at the same time. I don't know if it got everything or what it did or didn't get, so let me know if there's anything you want to see again and I can show it a little better in a floss tube video. Then I just have another little manila folder, again with just some like simple general instructions. It looks like it's just the same instructions over and over again. This is like a little page from the pen and ink set, I think. So just papers that I'm like, we'll keep in case we need them. Then I have a big folder, and this has another little set of patterns. These are Mary Mouse Book of Nursery Rhymes. So I'm not going to flip through all of these, but they're similar style, and it's like, here's a good picture that shows some like sample ones with the little mice. And I don't know why this was copied on such a huge paper, but I certainly wasn't going to go through and cut it all down to 8.5 by 11. So it lives in this extra big manila folder. Like that. Alright, and then the last bit of, or no, I'm sorry, this is not the last bit of patterns. I'm missing a pattern book. I'll have to find that. I'll get up and do that in a second. But first, I want to show you guys these magazines. So I have one baby magazine. with a number of different stuff. The back is a bunch of like unicorns and stuff, or like carousel horses, I'm sorry. Here's the front. So there's a number of patterns in here. And this is from, says 4th in the series, book 804, Jeanette Cruz Designs. It doesn't have a date on it though. Then I have Hopscotch to the Country, Burdette Publications, again no date on the front, 1983 on the inside. And there's like a little color comparison chart in here for DMC and Bates and Coates. Then I have a cross-stitch Christmas from Better Homes and Gardens from October 2002. I have a Better Homes and Gardens cross-stitch for all seasons. This is May 2002. And then I have Cross Stitch Quick Easy Projects for Cross Stitch Lovers, June 1989. And I think this is kind of like, I don't think this has a particular theme. On the front it has baby stuff, but I don't think there's, I think there's other stuff in here as well. Christmas, teacher gifts, stuff like that. And then the last one is It's a Baby, so a little baby book. It's got little baby designs in there, and this is another Burdette, same as the Hopscotch one, I think. Yes, the Hopscotch. So my camera stopped recording, but it's okay because it gave me a chance to go get my other little binder that I had to grab with even more patterns in it. This binder I just made a couple of weeks ago, and again it's just lots of patterns. But this was just like loose stuff that was still in drawers and never made it into the other book with the like patterns from the magazines. So in here we have, this one's really pretty. It's called Cherished Dreams. It's a leaflet from Leisure Arts, and it's like little flowers and a fence post. This one's pretty beat up. It's pretty old, but it's really pretty, really like dainty kind of. And this pattern is in full color, so that's awesome. Then this is a, some of them don't, again, they don't have like pictures to go with them, but this is a Crafts from Current Wedding sampler kit. I don't have the kit part of it, but I have this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a little wedding sampler with hearts all around the edges and some flowers. And it says, Lord bless our new life as husband and wife. And then it has room to put in the names and date of the wedding. Next I have a Dimensions kit. Well, the instructions from a Dimensions kit. Again, I don't have, nothing in here I don't think has like the materials to go with it, or pretty much anything. But this is for like an heirloom ornament set, so it has these, I'm assuming all of these patterns in there. And it's like a booklet, but it's all in one little folder, so I don't want to take them all out. Then I have like a baby bibs, teddy bears and horses. And again, there's no picture for it, because why would there be? Who needs a picture? Then I have the pattern from my boyfriend's crest that I made him. I have this one's really pretty, this Birdhouse Sunset kit, Birdhouse Garden it's called. So I do really like that one, and I think I want to stitch this at some point, but this, I'm almost 100% positive this was a kit, and I actually have the floss, or what I'm assuming is the floss, in this bag, because they're all on a big long floss card. But my grandma thinks she started this before. I was just talking to her about it the other day, and she insists that she has started this, but I do not have it, and she doesn't have a lot of stuff anymore, so I know she doesn't have it, so I don't know where it is, and therefore I don't know how much she stitched, and I don't know if I have enough thread left, and I don't know like a DMC or any other colors for the colors of floss that it calls for, so I don't want to start it, run out of a color, and not have it to finish. So at some point when I'm ready to like sit down and really look into it, I'll probably start this, but it won't be for a while. Then I have the kit instructions for those printed sheets that I showed you guys in the beginning. Those are all 4 of them, and then that's the one that I did as a wedding gift, and it says loving hearts make this house a home. So it has just like instructions and patterns and colors in here. Then I have, get this back in the binder, a little like Christmas leaflet. I don't remember what's on the inside of here. This is Designs by Gloria and Pat, Christmas promotional leaflet from 1985. So it's got a ton of little ornaments and stuff. All different designs of little Christmas ornaments. So super cute. This one they actually turned into a pillow. You can see down there. Next we have a mini Saint Nick by the Artist's Collection. Right there. Forgot that's a pattern. I shouldn't be showing you guys that. A little sailboat, Imaginating with Marilyn Clark. This is a little teddy bear. And it comes with instructions. Okay, and this is actually the pattern I was looking for. This is a little mouse and a champagne glass, or a martini glass. It says champagne glass, but it's more like a martini glass. And I actually, this was another one of the very first ones I ever made. I don't know where the one I made is, but I have an ornament hanging on my tree of one that like my grandma or my aunt or somebody else stitched, so I can put that up for you guys. But I don't know where the one is that I made. Then we have a little DMC free chart, and it's a little sampler, Pearls of Wisdom. I'm assuming that's the name of the chart, because since it's by DMC, so that's pretty cute. Samplers aren't necessarily my style, but this is pretty with the rainbow alphabet. Then I have a little Jiffy Bear and Booty's birth record. That's that. Again, these aren't necessarily my style, but I love having them and, you know, getting them from my grandma, and also seeing like all the different styles, and it's crazy that like it's been around so long. A little There's No Place Like Home wall hanging. Another free DMC chart, May Your Christmas Be Decorated. It's 2 little kids at a Christmas tree. And again, another free DMC chart. This one is Bluebird Peaches. This is Christmas Eve. That one's really pretty. I'm not sure if it's on blue fabric or if all of that sky is stitched. I haven't looked at it close enough. This is a Victorian Christmas. And then we have a cross-stitch kit invitation sampler by Needles and Hoops. Again, I don't have the supplies for this, but that's what it looks like. I hope you guys can see it. There isn't really anything in the middle. There's room to put your like invitation from an event or wedding or whatever it is. Then I have another Jiffy kit without the floss, A Star Is Born. So it's another little birth announcement. And that is everything. Those are all of my patterns. There's a lot, I know, but thank you for sitting through them if you made it this far. Okay, so next up after patterns I have fabric. Most of it is from my grandma. Some of it I have bought on Amazon or whatnot. These 2 rolls, this is 25 count Lugana and this is 14 count Ada. I actually like thrifted these for $1 or $2 at Goodwill, so check Goodwill, you might find some fabric. But pretty much everything else is from my grandma, and I have a nice big stack in this project bag. Whoa! So actually this one that first came out is scraps that I actually bought from Megan at Georgia Girl Stitching. So it's assorted like 32, 34, and 40 count scraps. So I think I'm going to use these to stitch some of those smaller like flower or floral patterns that I showed you in the big pattern binder, just to practice using the linen, because they are pretty small in various sizes. So I'm happy to have those. And then I have a bunch of pretty much exclusively 22 count Hardinger or 14 count Aida. So I have pink, this is white, I do have some yellow Aida, but it has stitching on it and I have no idea what pattern. I looked through the book, the big binder, a couple of weeks ago to try and find what pattern this is, and I couldn't find it. So if you've seen this before, let me know, because it's not done. It says friends are in the back stitching, and then there's no other kid. So I'm like, there has to be another friend or else the words wouldn't make sense. I have some more white Aida, some like, I don't know what color this would be called, but like a burlap or tweed. It's a little darker than it's showing up on the camera. Some more pink, some more off-white, and then again like these like natural kind of colors. I have no idea what this is. I'd have to count it and find out, but it's white. Yeah, and it's also stained a little, so this one needs some TLC before I can stitch on it. I've got some even weave that I thrifted. I don't know how big this is. Zweigart, easy count, 14 count Aida. And then just some white. This is like a piece I had started on it and ripped everything out a couple of weeks ago, so I don't know what that's gonna be. And then this looks like a nice big, oh no, I'm sorry, this is pre-cut, not serged Aida that I guess I bought on Amazon. I don't remember what I was making, but I remember buying a pack of it on Amazon, and this is what's left. There's like 4 more sheets of it. I don't remember the size of it either. Actually, this might be what my friend's piece is stitched on. In my Floss 2 video I showed you guys that I have like a friend's whip. That might be what this is on, but it's just 14 count Aida. So nothing too fancy in this pile, but I'm hoping over the next few years that will change dramatically. But also, as much as I do want to get started stitching on other stuff, I also don't want to waste this, so I want to stitch on this and grow my collection to be more linen and stuff like that. So that is fabric, which takes us to our last item of business, floss, and probably my favorite. When my grandma gave me, let me show you guys first actually. So this is my floss bag and then box that doesn't fit in there. I have lots. This is all of my floss. Turn it over. So this is all of my floss plus this one. So this is all of it. There's a lot. When my grandma gave it to me, she had a drawer full of skeins that were just kind of thrown together, not wound on bobbins or anything, but also I think 3 of these boxes that were sorted in number order, DMC order. So I spent a whole summer winding bobbins every night, labeling floss cards and putting them into these boxes. So I have three boxes of DMC. So this one, it goes from the beginning up to 542, and painstakingly, you know, put them all in here, and we're switching them from box to box. As I think actually at one point I only had 2 boxes, so as they would like outgrow a box, I'd move them to the next one. Then we have from 5:43 to 9:11. And this one I actually spilled on the ground the other day, and it was really sad because then I had to put them all back. It was like after I finished reorganizing, I was putting colors in from my finishes that I had over the last couple of months and like putting them back in. And then after finishing that, I spilled them all on the ground and had to redo it. So that was really, really sad. But regardless, I love looking at the bobbins in these boxes. They're so cute. And this one just goes from 912 to 3768. And that is where my DMC ends. And I would say I probably have most of the colors. I technically don't know. I don't have like a color chart or anything like that that I keep updated, but I probably have most of them in these 3 boxes. I love to take them out and look at them. I think they're just so nice to look at. I love them. I love how neat it is on the bobbins, which is why I've been weary to use floss drops for my newer projects. I do have possibly a solution to that I'm going to talk about in my next floss tube video, and I've talked a little about my previous one, but I'll save it for that video. But I just love them, and I actually used to use them for friendship bracelets before I started cross stitching. Like that was really what I used all of her embroidery floss for. So it was so fun to take them all, like lay them out on the table, look at them, decide what colors I wanted, all of that. But because I was using them for, well, not necessarily because I was using them for friendship bracelets, but just because of the thread and whatnot, I had a lot of colors that I wasn't exactly sure of their number. So these are my miscellaneous boxes, and I also have some on here that are JP Coates brand, and I didn't feel like keeping track of that, so I just put them into my miscellaneous box. So I keep these color coded rather than by number, because some of them don't have numbers, or maybe the numbers don't match up, just because I'm not sure if it's an old bobbin or what. So this is my red, orange, pink, yellow, green, brown box. And then this is a newer box, you can see, because it's like a different kind. It's one of those ones with removable inserts. And this box has blues and purples, as well as some DMC silk that I bought on clearance at Michael's, some ecru, these like, you know those cheap friendship bracelet kits you get as a kid. So it has like all of those weird textured floss, and then the DMC like old variegated flosses. I've never come across something that uses those. I don't know if these numbers are accurate, so they just live in this box. And then I have extra bobbins and needles in here as well. So that is that. And then this last box is big. So this fits like large floss cards, not the normal size, or what I would consider to be normal size. And when my grandma gave me this also had embroidery floss in it. I think this actually might have been my mom's at one point, but they were wound on big bobbin cards, so I took all of them off, rewound them on smaller bobbin cards. So now there's just loose skeins in here that need to be wound, but most of them are not. I don't think any of these are DMC. They look all like JP Coates and then just like craft floss, which I don't use, so they'll probably live in here until I really need them. And then I also have a new pack of plastic bobbins that have yet to be used, which I'll probably give to my little cousin, because I taught her how to cross stitch while she was here for Thanksgiving. So if she's enjoying it and still doing it, I will give her those bobbins. Otherwise I'll just keep them in my stash for now. But that is all of my floss, and I love it. It is like my prized possession. It just brings me so much joy to look at and keep everything neat and organized. Actually, one other thing about my floss is I have this mini box, and this is my, I call it like my travel box. There's nothing in it right now, but while I was traveling before I started using floss drops or anything like that, I would keep all of my like current project floss in this box. And it's nice because it could hold a lot. So like when I had the lighthouse project, like it took up most of it, like all 3 rows I think, with colors. And I would like use one little square for scraps and stuff so I wouldn't make a mess while I was traveling. And I loved it. I also used it when I was doing friendship bracelets before I was doing cross stitch. I would fill this up with the like random colors so that I wouldn't mess up my nice colors and bring this with me so that I could share or whatever it was. People could pick out colors and I could make them bracelets and whatnot. So this is my little mini travel box and I love her. Or it could be overflow, whatever I need. Alright, the last thing I want to show you guys is this project bag. This is like a sewing bag, basic project bag that my grandma gave me, and not necessarily on purpose, but just like with the rest of her stuff. So until very, very recently, this is what I used as like my sole project bag. Also because I would only work on one project at a time, I only needed one bag. And I remember I pulled it out a while ago now, and she's like, "You still have that bag? Like, are you serious?" And I was like, "Yep, I do." It's in great condition. I don't even know how old it is. She says it's super old, but I'm not sure. It's kind of plastic vinyl and it has held up great. It's not necessarily the cutest, but I like it because it's old and it's special. So this is my like OG project bag. And right now I have my Ottoman Stars Hollow stuff in it. So alright, well, if you guys made it this far, thank you for sticking it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this stash walkthrough. I know a lot of you were really excited to see it. I was excited to film it for you guys and kind of go through everything. It is definitely longer than my normal FlossTube videos. I don't always have the patience to sit through super long videos, so if you are still here, thank you. I appreciate you. And I am traveling tomorrow, or tonight actually. I'm starting traveling for another week, so I'm not sure exactly when I'll film another FlossTube, if it'll be this week or if I'll wait till I get back, but I will see you in my next video regardless. Happy New Year!